Yo, what up everybody, and welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos. Now today I got something lined up that's a little bit different from what I usually upload. Now, this is a Pokemon Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle, but this is not ranked and it's not 3v3. This is a 6v6 battle that I had against one of my boys, Eric. The man is a musician. He's a genius with a musical instrument in his hands. I'll leave a link to his Instagram in the description. Y'all could check him out. He makes some really good stuff. Hit him with a follow, leave likes on all of his posts. The man also happens to be really good at Pokemon, and that's why we had this battle. Now, we both put these two teams together to just get a couple battles against each other. The point of my team was to test out Terrain Pulse Clawitzer. That was the idea initially, but I ended up just with an entire electric terrain team. I got the Alolan Raichu with the Surge Surfer, and I got the Hawlucha with the Electric Seed. The point of this team is essentially just attack, attack, attack. There isn't really much stalling tactics that I have on this team, so maybe the Claydol comes in and takes a hit or something like that, but that's really it. I need to keep the Pincurchin alive. I need to keep everybody else alive because they come in and sweep. On the other hand, Eric and his bum ass, he got a very bulky team. Like, this team is just too tanky, man. He barely has any offense in this team. Everything just screams, I'm gonna status stall you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take hits and I'm gonna kill you, chip away damage at you. I mean, Tyranitar, you could probably run offensive sets on this thing. I know Choice Band Tyranitar is a thing, but very naturally bulky. You typically see defensive Tyranitar. Same for Como. You can run him offensive, but he just does a better job in a defensive sort of role. He has a Mandibuzz, which could get off some damage against like Hawlucha if I set up like a Swords Dance or something like that. Resisted or not, Foul Play is just going to do a ton of damage because it goes based off the attack stat. But let's not mess around. This is literally just like an offensive versus defensive team. It's very standard. We'll just see how it goes. So let's just jump into it. I'm up against Potato Pot. This battle I'm going to lead off with the Clawitzer. It's just a good lead against his team. I'm expecting him to lead off with the Mew, which is why I go for the Clawitzer, because I have the Dark Pulse with Choice Specs and the Mega Launcher. That Mew's just going to be dead. But he leads off with the Como, which, I mean, it's not the worst matchup in the world, but I do decide to switch out, as he does too. He switches out into the Toxapex, which actually, I mean, regardless of what he did, it was not going to be too bad for me. I switch out into the Claydol with... Now, I have Psychic on this thing. I'm just going to Psychic away on this Toxapex. He knows that, so he's going to switch out into the Mew. He's going to take a Psychic, and he has a red card, which, I mean, sure. He sends out my Claydol, and he brings out my Raichu, which, I mean, it's really not a big deal. It's just a waste of a turn, but who cares? I switch right back into the Claydol because I mean, I don't really have anything to do against this Mew with the Raichu, and where that Raichu, with being as squishy as he is, you don't want any crazy amounts of damage on him, So I switch back out into my Claydol. I go for the Psychic. He goes for the Stealth Rocks. Actually, I switch into a Taunt, and then I go for the Psychic as he goes for the Stealth Rocks. He sets some sort of spikes as I go for the Earth Power. I get the Special Defense drop, which is perfect. I go for another Earth Power as he goes for other spikes. Whether he switches out or not, it doesn't really matter to me. He switches out into the Mandibuzz as I go for the Rapid Spin. I mean, whatever, why not? I get the Speed Boost, which is nice. And I set up my Stealth Rocks, which is also nice. And then he's just going to go for the U-turn, which is going to do a big chunk of damage to him, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, super effective, sure, but this is a defensive Claydol, so I was not expecting that. He switches out into the Mimikyu, which is not ideal, because he takes me out with this Shadow Claw. I was hoping to be able to live one, go for the Earth Power and break his Disguise, but that's not how it ends up happening. And this Mimikyu is a big, big threat for me. So he takes some Life Orb damage, it's whatever. I switch out into my Pincurchin to set up the Electric Terrain so I could have like Hawlucha or somebody come in and start sweeping. He switches out into his Tyranitar, which is a little bit iffy for me, because I mean, he could have just basically set up a Swords Dance and killed me right there. But he does him. He switches on to Tyranitar. I stay in, and I go for the Discharge, which does a decent chunk of change. I have no like attack EVs on this thing, or special attack EVs on this thing, but it is in the Electric Terrain, so it is boosted. I get the Paralyze too, which is nice. I switch out into the Hawlucha next turn. I get my Electric Seed. I probably should not have, because Hawlucha, I probably should have reserved this thing for a little bit later to kind of come in when his team was a little bit weaker, but I mean, I made the play. It's whatever happens. So a bunch of like residual stuff happens. He gets Leftovers Recovery. I do this, I do that. I get hit by Sandstorm, whatever. He shoots out into the Toxapex because, of course, he does. What? Fucking Toxapex, man. I hate this thing. So as he switches out, I set up the Swords Dance, which is perfectly fine for me. I'm thinking it's about that time, It's about that time to sweep. Boy, completely forgetting that Toxapex does have the option to go for Haze. So I'm going to Dynamax because I'm thinking, you know, I have +2 attack, I have Unburden activated, it's over, you know, it's over. Maybe the worst thing that can happen is a Mimikyu, but I can get some good damage off on this team. So I Dynamax, and I go for the max Airstream, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I get my +1 speed. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. I outspeed everything else on the battlefield. I get a crit. I mean, it's a 2-hit KO regardless, so the crit really doesn't end up mattering. He has Regenerator, so if he switches out, I mean, that crit literally is negligible. And he goes for the Haze, which, whatever. Actually, that crit was not negligible because that Sandstorm took him out, didn't it? I completely forgot about that. Whatever, the Sandstorm takes out the Tox effects as he goes for the Haze. Unburdened speed is still activated, so I'm still like, I still outspeed everything else on this team. He switches on to the Mimikyu, and I never got to take the Disguise off, so this guy still can take a free hit, which is not good. It's just not good. So I go for the Max Airstream. I get another I get another speed boost. Fuck it, why not, right? So I break his Disguise, finally. But now this Dynamax with Life Orb is just gonna be a big problem for me. Goes for the Max Starfall, just completely takes out my Hawlucha. My Planner Sweep just goes down the drain and right back into the Pokeball, and he gets the Misty Terrain out, which I mean it's fine. I don't really care. My Hawlucha's dead, and I'm sweating buckets at this point, bro. What do I do against this Mimikyu? I can't bring in a Heracross. I can't bring in Pincurchin. I can't bring in Raichu. I don't know what to do, so I bring in my Clawitzer, thinking that this was the max HP set that I run, but it wasn't. It was the max speed. If I was max HP, I would have lived that max Starfall, but I was max speed, and I take the max Starfall and I died. That was just such a big misplay on my part. That was just like a biggest brain slip I ever had. So now I switch on to Pincurchin. This is his last turn of Dynamax. Goes to the max Starfall. I live, which is nice. And he replaces the electric Terrain with his stupid Starfall with the Misty Surge. Whatever. I go for another Discharge. I get a crit, which is nice. I mean, it doesn't really end up mattering. Next turn, he's gonna kill me. He outspeeds anyways, but he goes for the Shadow Sneak to kill me. The crit doesn't matter. But if maybe he had gone for Swords Dance, I had the plan. I had Memento click, so maybe that would have worked. Whatever. I'm down to my last two Pokemon. I have the Heracross and I have my Raichu. So I switch into my Heracross. This is Scarf. This is a Scarf Moxie set, a throwback to Black and White. This was like the most popular Heracross set. I go for the Stone Edge. I get the Moxie boost. I can't go for Earthquake because he has the Mana Buzz. So I lock myself into Stone Edge. He brings out the Mana Buzz. I go for the Stone Edge again. He goes to the Foul Play. +1 attack, resisted or not, that does so much damage, man. It's crazy. So he switches off from the Mana Buzz into the Tyranitar, into a Stone Edge, which might not have been the best play. I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys are gonna see why. So I go for the Stone Edge. I do a great chunk of damage, bro. It almost makes you feel like that's maybe a physically attacking Tyranitar. It doesn't matter, bro. That Tyranitar is now a 2-hit KO. So next turn, I go for the Stone Edge again. I have my fingers crossed that I don't miss a single Stone Edge, bro. 80% accuracy. I do not have good luck with hitting moves that should be hit. But one thing I had going for me is that Eric has way worse luck than I do. So I take out the Tyranitar. He brings out the Mew. I go for the Stone Edge again, and I hit, bro. Oh my god, this has never happened. This is unprecedented in my book. I think by my count, that's the 5th Stone Edge I've hit in a row. That is insane. I have never had that kind of luck. But because I'm up against Eric, that probably ended up being a factor. So he brings out the Como, which I feel like he should have done after I took out the Mimikyu. But I guess he wanted to get some Sandstorm chip damage off, which is understandable. I mean, I can't get an insight into his mind. When he brings out the Como, I go for the Stone Edge. I get some good... I do some half health bout. He gets some leftovers recovery, and then he kills me with the changing skills. And he gets the defense drop, which really matters because I bring out the Raichu, and I have Psyshock on this thing, not Psychick. If he hadn't got that defense drop, so he lives at Psyshock. At that range, he lives at Psyshock. Even with a max roll, he lives at Psyshock from a Life Orb Raichu, bro. That is crazy. That defense drop from changing skills brings him down to enough where I can kill him with the Psyshock. His last Pokemon is his Mana Buzz. And I take him out with the Thunderbolt. If he had just switched out into the Como way earlier, instead of switching on to the Tyranitar and the Mew and then everybody else, this game would have been over because I really can't do anything against that Como. You know, like you saw how much damage a +3 Stone Edge did to that thing. It did nothing. Como is just way too bulky, man. Fucking screw Como. But that's it for the battle. I'm gonna end it over here. For only one battle for today, but this is a 6v6, a longer battle than usual. Again, be sure to check out Eric's Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description. And thanks for watching, guys. I have a few more battles with Eric that I'm probably gonna upload. Who knows? Maybe next time I get Eric on here to co-commentate, bro. Yo, what's up, bro? You watching this video? I know you, bro. We out. But yeah, that's it for today, boys. I'm gonna have some new videos up soon. Maybe some different types of content instead of just like the Wi-Fi battles. I'll do some other stuff. Hopefully you guys like that stuff. So that's it for me today. Bye.